Welcome to the World is Listening podcast.
The world is
brother.
listening. That's good with you.
Tell the world your name and everything.
Oh, you
brother.
know who I am, Brother Syid, the creator of Get Thee Black Mind Right, owner of Fishbone Entertainment, co-creator of Paper to Film with my business partner Tiffany Kiever. I'm just, the happy-go-lucky, sometimes angry black man. Class of 77, Pentagon High.
Yeah, people don't know that this thing about to be lit today.
Oh, they already know.
Listen, my brother always in every Zoom, every podcast, everything will get the black mind right.
It's all about it's all about the movement, man.
So tell me, when did you start that movement?
Man, I really started digging deep in it about 5 years ago. Because I really I've always been like a conscious brother, but I really started digging into it when I started really digging more into the culture and really digging more into how I look at us as black people and me as a black, representative of the black community.
Right.
So I felt as though it was like, if I don't start speaking positive or staying positive or trying to educate brothers and sisters on being positive, I'm not useful. I'm not useful, as far as giving back and helping support the community. So I said, you know what, we're going to get the black mind right. So everything I focus on is about just positivity and, and not dealing with the negativity. But when I tell people about my Get the Black Mind Right, it ain't just for black people. It's for anybody that needs to get out of that dark space.
I got you.
You feel me?
Right.
Because it's like once we get out of that dark space, there's light.
Right.
And so when I talked to Kat, they said, well, I said, listen, bro, let me explain something to you. I don't care what you believe in. You can be agnostic. You can be a damn atheist. You can be anything. But in order for us to become good people, we have to associate ourselves with good people, whether they Christians, Muslims, whoever, or not. Then that makes you want to become a better person.
Right.
So it's just about who we associate with. And once you get the black mind right, you're going to be in the light.
So you from Jersey.
South Jersey. Don't do
From
that.
South Jersey.
Before we get any further, I want to say this to my brother right here. When we say Jersey, he from North Jersey.
I'm from North.
I'm from Rick City. I'm from a small town called Pentagon, New Jersey. So I'm from South Jersey. But we both from Jersey, but it's two different Jerseys.
Two different Jerseys.
So when we explain Jersey to people, we tell people Jersey is related more to like that southern culture like Philly.
Right.
And Newark is like that northern culture like New York.
Right.
Like the closest thing to that. That's what I tell people.
Right.
But I am from Jersey though.
All right, okay. So let's go back into a little bit of childhood. Growing up in South Jersey, what was life like?
Oh man. Well, growing up in South Jersey, we was poor, bro. My mom, this is the thing about the poor thing. A lot of us coming up we was poor, we was struggling. But my mom was like, yo, bro. She was like everything to us. But it was rough coming up, man. I remember we used to go out and I'm in Jersey. Mm-hmm. So when I tell people this story, they think it's some old down south.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me for cussing. They think some old down south stuff. Yeah.
Right.
But my mom used to have to get up 5 o'clock in the morning and be in the tomato fields. She got 8 kids sitting under this big tree while she picking tomatoes.
Wow.
We eating like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And and the funny part is, you sitting under this hot out in the sun all day. Now water don't stay cold forever.
Right.
So you talking about you thirsty, you want something to drink, you out here drinking hot water and you sit right there in the tomato fields and corn fields and it's just like you see Sounder or some show like that. We went through that. We went through being poor. You know what I mean? I remember, we didn't have hot water.
How many siblings you had?
It's like 8 of us.
8 of y'all.
8 of us.
Okay, and see, for everybody in the world, you look mega young to the people.
I
Tell me
appreciate
your age, brother.
I'm 68, brother.
He is 68 years young. Y'all hear this right here?
But
Kicking it.
But this the blessing. I tell people this. This is the blessing God gave black people is our youth. Mm. They can take anything away from us but our youth, and that's why no matter how we age. No matter the older we get, we keep our youth because that's the gift that God gave us. And I say this, you and I, we're bald headed though. Our hair sticks up to the sun for a reason. Mm-hmm. And people need to do their homework and read the Bible and any book, and they'll tell you why our hair is special to us. Mm.
Yeah, I messed mine up years ago.
Well,
man.
shit, I didn't.
Look, back in the day, this ain't even a natural fallout. This was back in the
Jerry
day.
curl.
Look, when we was in, we was in the rap group OCM, right around the corner from Naughty, and everybody had their braids all done. People didn't know we had them S curls in there. You know what I'm saying? Let that hair. So one day, I called myself, let me put my own S curl in. I ain't even wait for the girl no more. I missed the spot. So I said, oh man, I missed the spot. I went back to the store and got another box of I think it was called opium or something like that. I put another perm in the same day.
Oh, you did a comp move.
Burnt my follicles.
Yes.
Burnt my joint up. And then it still was looking fly for the first couple, get your hair done 2 or 3 times. By that third time, I never forget that girl was like, she was parting my hair. She was like, Kilo,
you got sores
you got
in
a
your
bald
head.
spot.
Yeah.
I was like, what? She showed me that thing in the mirror. I was like, I just grabbed the clippers. Yeah. They were like, oh. I was like, yo, I can't do it. That bald spot was getting bigger and bigger, bro. Yeah. And I know I did it to myself. I was still young. I wasn't even no old man. I was still in my 20s. I did that. You know what I mean? Just burnt the follicles.
That's what happened when you put them perms in your hair.
That's what happened.
That's
you heard Malcolm say, don't do that.
Don't burn, that burn you up. Listen, I had sisters, not a mom. I see them running through the house talking about where the water at. All the perm is lime, bro.
Ooh,
and other
crazy
stuff. Yeah, but yeah, so I say this before I go any further. There's nothing that a person can. There's nothing. I thought I had it off. There isn't nothing a person can tell me that they've been through that my family hasn't been through.
Right.
Nothing. We've been poor. I have people. I mean, we've been to prison. I got a brother that OD'd. I had a brother that been killed. I've been ups and I've been down. But when I have these conversations with people,
right,
and I tell them, listen, I can relate because I've been there. There's nothing a person can tell me that what they went through, my family and I haven't been through. We didn't been through it all.
Right.
We didn't been. I mean, we was at a party one time, and somebody, the old school can openers,
yeah,
the old little, they said, well, listen, ask the Wrights, they know how to use it.
They know how to use the can opener.
This like the old school shit. They said, ask the Wrights, they know how to use it. Yeah, because people. I don't tell you, man. But that upbringing, it taught us how to be independent. So it taught us how to, if we had to be on our own, we gonna make it because we done been through everything.
So tell me about that time when you got into the streets and got into the street life.
Man, you know what? I didn't even have to get into the street life though. I just did it because I thought it was a cool thing to do.
You thought it was cool?
I thought it was cool, man. The drug shit.
Right.
But I never
you
really.
Cussing again.
But I never even was. I was cool with. I was mad. I had, from my town, if you go to my town and ask everybody about Brother Syid, they'll say, yo, dude was like that dude. I helped people. I did stuff for people. I was a community person. But I didn't have to sell drugs or do that. I like smoking weed. Okay. And that's and I help people. But then, just trying to be cool. Right. Trying to get out there and be hustle. And I got caught up. Okay. I tell people, no, I didn't do that because I needed to. Right. I had money. I had a decent job. I had a great first wife.
It was just something to do.
Thought it was just something to do. And Allah made me pay the price.
Right. So what was the price that you think you say that you paid?
Dope for 10 years. The day I started getting high, 10 years later was the day I quit.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So you said, what was the drug?
Crack.
You said it was crack? In the crack era?
In the crack.
So I was part of the crack era.
I'm part of the era where these kids are where they are today. Because see, this is what I explain to people. The 10 years that I did crack, just look at the age of these kids. The 10 years that I did crack, my kids had to become parents and everything. Well, I didn't have no kids at the time, but my kids had to be parents and everything. So for 10, 12 years, whatever these kids' parents was on, my age from 25 to 35, these kids had to become parents.
Right.
So at 35-year-old, what you gonna tell a 18-year-old kid what he need to do, what he should do, and he had to raise his brothers and sisters from 7, 8, 9 years old because his mom and dad don't do. Right. What can you tell them?
Right.
You can't tell them shit.
So let me ask you this. I was talking to somebody before about taking drugs, and I said, what made you continue to take drugs? And they said, the first time that I got high, it was a feeling that felt so good, and I felt like I was like euphoria or like a different place. And he said, I tried to keep chasing that feeling, but the feeling wasn't never that same as that first one.
It's different. That's what they say, but it's not it. In the words of Tupac, but I ain't gonna say it.
Right.
Where Tupac said this, it's the next best thing to getting P in his song. Okay. That's what it's like.
It just felt, and that's in your mind,
or your mind and your body. See, I never did heroin. See, the thing about me is, when I just smoked reefer, I went to crack. I never shot dope. I didn't even drink. Uh-huh. I just went from reefer to crack. But that feeling, it's just something. It's like chasing. Okay. It's like. Did you
have energy? Like, did it make you like energized?
Crack makes you zoom.
It makes you zoom.
Yeah, and see, it's like being in a relationship. You know how people be in these relationships where they just can't let the girl go. Right. That's
what it's like.
That's what it's like. To make it simple, but it makes you it tears your body up, and it makes I never had to go out here and mess with guys. I never did that. I did a lot of crazy shit, but like with women, people, it makes you do things that you think you would never ever do. Okay.
So what made you say, I gotta stop?
Oh man, and I tell this is what made me. Now I went to church. All my life, my mom's Christian, but this is what made me believe in God. I got zoomed up, man. I was black. I got amped, bro. So on my way home, I started crying. I went down to the Delaware River. I live right on the river, right across the Delaware Bridge. Okay. I live right there. I went down to the Delaware River. I was crying. I said, man, I can't take this stuff no more. I was getting ready to jump in to commit suicide. Wow. This is something said, if you do, a light hit the water, a light hit the water, and something said, if you do what I ordain you to do, or if you follow my guidance, you'll never get high again. February the 21st, I was at 2000, whatever. I've been clean 30-something years. February the 21st, whatever year it was, I moved to Greensboro. Mm-hmm. Now, I did get high one time after that because God said, you're not ready. Going, I'm looking good, got my weight up. Right. You know what I mean? Pocket full of money. God said, you ain't ready. But he let you, find out.
Walk your walk.
Walk your walk. And I went home and I got back, and ever since then, I do what he ordained me to do, right. And that's just share love and get the black mind right.
Did life get 100% better after that?
Man, let me tell you what got better for me. Not just life got 100% better, but two people. When I say this, and I tell my wife, I don't say this out of disrespect to her, but I ask God to allow me to do two things: regain my family's total love, and the opportunity for me to ask my first wife, to forgive me for what I did to her. And he did that. Wow. That's all I asked for. And he did that. Wow. My wife, she accepted my apologies or whatever, and she did that. Right. That's all I said, I want to just be cool, get my family's love and trust again. And that's all I asked for, and that's what he put me in position. That's why you always hear me talk about family all the time. Right. That's why I take family stuff serious. Because I tell people, I don't care what you do in the streets. I don't care what you do. If you can't go home, you can't go nowhere. Right. So that's all and ever since then, I've been clean, bro. I don't get out there, because it's like when I talk to brothers and they start glamorizing the drug game and stuff, I don't say nothing to them until they say, yo. I said, look. Then we had this conversation. I said, look, bro, let me explain this to you. Been there, done that, Right. I said, listen, the only thing game about to change is the date. The game don't change. Right. What they did 30 years ago, same thing going on today.
Same thing.
I said, so the game don't change, just the date. I said, the same jail time they was giving us back then, you get the same jail time now. Right. You feel me?
It might be even worse.
It might go be even worse.
More years.
But like I said, the game don't change. And it's like man, you don't know how happy I am to be clean, bro. You don't know. People don't know how happy I am to be able to get up every morning.
I'm happy to see you clean, bro, because I've seen you on the other side of this. I ain't know you on that side. Oh. You know what I mean? So the person that I met on this side of it, that I've known for years, been a straight good brother, straight up.
No,
so
man.
That's a blessing, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
I take my shit serious.
Yeah.
And people, it's like I don't really I'm very outgoing, but I still don't deal with a lot of people. My circle is like real small. Like the little group we have,
Right.
we go out and do stuff together. We
Right.
do stuff. That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And even like when I'm filming, I'm really just branching out more into filming and just working with different people because I want to get to know everybody and how everybody feel and deal with stuff.
Right.
You know, and like and I think one of the things that I have to my advantage right now, you know, I'm very nationalism and pro-black. Very. But I tell people that, I say, listen, what I speak on is stuff that people need to understand. I'm not going to say go out here and kill Whitey. I'm not going to go out here and say, brothers, let's get guns and go start. I'm not going to do that. But I have to let people know where I stand. So when they come work with me, they going to understand it's business.
Right.
That I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to do none of that. But when we work together, it's business. Now, what I do other than that, that's my business.
Right. Right.
But I have great relationship with people.
Absolutely.
You know.
So let's go into when you first, after you left the water, God spoke to you. What did you do after that?
Well, I moved here. I started coaching basketball. This is the funny
Okay.
thing. I coached basketball for years. Me and my friend Big Perm Sherm. But this is the first thing.
Big Perm Sherm.
Big Perm Sherm. I call him Big Perm because I'm from Big Perm on Friday.
Yeah.
And he from Philly. So what happened was I started coaching, but I got fired, man, from being a volunteer coach.
Okay. You got fired for being a volunteer.
I said, wait a minute. How do you fire a volunteer?
Oh, that's funny right there.
Hey, but this is the fun though. This is the funny part. The kids was like 6, 7, 8 years old. And all they want to do is kick the ball and run with it.
Right.
So the parents had a meeting. They said that I wasn't teaching the kids the game of basketball. I said, miss, they 5 and 6 years old. Look what they doing.
Right.
I can't even get them to sit down for a minute. I said, you want me to discipline your 5 and 6 year old kid
Right.
from running around? You probably can't even discipline him at home because he's 5 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I said, but that hurt me to my heart when they fired me, man. I said, good gracious, I ain't never got fired for being a volunteer.
Oh, man.
No,
that's
but you know,
funny.
I coach basketball. We got in the paper to film. I'm doing my film. You know, we got into my film stuff. But pretty
But
much.
wait, hold on. You're skipping a part now. Let's go to you became a member of the Nation of Islam.
No, let me tell people about my Nation of Islam thing.
Okay, tell
I
us.
never became a member of the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
But I dealt with so many brothers from the Nation of Islam, like in Jersey and Delaware. Even when I moved here, my brother-in-law that passed away, he was a FOI in the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
But I dealt with a lot of brothers from the Nation of Islam. So when people ask me, you know, if I was to choose a religion, what would be my religion of choice? It would be Islam, and I would probably join the Nation of Islam. But I just like affiliate with them so much, people think I'm a Muslim.
Right.
I mean, a member of the Nation of Islam. I got my name, Syid. My name is Syid Samir. Syid Samir means lovable, and Syid Samir means lovable in Arabic.
Right.
And Samir means friendly one.
Okay.
So that's my name, Syed Samir. And a Muslim brother gave me that to get out of prison, my man Saifuddin. You know, but far as that,
Saifuddin.
my man Saif, yeah. Saif was a rough dude too, bro. Listen, man, and you know, just stepping back to my Jersey stuff, man, my brother, we very much some gangsters. And I didn't even know they was gangsters. Hell, me and my brother going to the bank on the bank, they used to have to post the pictures.
Yeah.
And little
Pictures of people.
the most wanted on the FBI
Right,
thing.
right.
So me and my brother go to the bank. So we look at this dude. He was like, damn, that dude look familiar. So my brother went up to him and said, shoot, he at the crib. That's what is going on now.
Yeah.
Because my younger brother, Wahid, now my brother Wahid was gangster.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we pulled the thing down. It had, they got on the post like known whereabouts.
Right.
They have my mom's address on there.
The address was
They
there?
have my mom's address on there, no
Yeah,
whereabouts.
yeah.
Her word is born.
Wow.
The next time my
crazy.
brother come in town, my older brother
Say your
Gray.
own address.
Yeah, they have my mom's home address on there.
That's
So my
crazy.
brother Gray snatched the poster down. We go to the crib. Now they sitting on the porch. Him and my brother Wahid.
Yeah.
My brother like, yo, this sure. He said, oh yeah, you good. Throw that away. So what the hell? I mean, excuse me, but yeah, and that's true.
Yeah, that's crazy
and
right
then
there.
man, and I had a cousin named Freddie, man. You know, and I'm from a small town. I'll keep people 100. We wasn't no gangster town. I live in a small town. It was 1 square mile. I mean, you have all your stuff going on. But I had a cousin from, his name was Freddie. He came and stayed with us. He was from Baltimore. So all of a sudden, they got all these stick-ups going on and stores getting broke into. You know, crime going up.
In the town.
Yeah.
In the town where everybody know each other.
Yeah. So
Who
my
doing
cousin,
this?
Yeah. So my cousin Freddie come to our house one night. You know them old bags to put money to draw the strings?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he came to the house one night.
Crown Royal bag, what?
Yeah, kind of like,
purple joint?
but this was like the bank bag.
The bigger bag,
yeah.
okay.
So what happened was he came to the house one night late, said, open up the 2 bags, put out all this money. He said, hey, this is yours. This is mine, I'm out. He gave us all this money, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
He done hit some spots on.
Tear them spots up. So this is, and I'm telling you, I live in a small town. So this is before the money thing. We go shopping with him. I never seen it. I'm not a gun. He had a German Luger. I didn't even know what a German Luger was. He said, yeah. He goes in the store. He said, get what y'all want. My brother would co-sign on this. He said, get what y'all want. So we getting silk and wool. We getting like the silk and wool gabardine pants, $100 stuff.
Right.
Shirts and everything. So we get up to the counter. He pulls up a gun and say, this is a stick-up. What the heck? he said, y'all go. I got this. Man, we dropped them clothes, me and my brother. We jetted.
Right.
And we had to. That was the last time I seen him.
That was the last time you seen him.
And I was glad. Because I was going to tell him
I was going to tell him.
Listen, I ain't but 8, 9, 10 years old.
He said, get anything you want.
Yeah, they going to get talking about this a stick up.
Oh, man.
What that? Nah, bro.
That is funny. That's funny. So what brought you to Greensboro?
Just how to get off that. You know, the only way I knew that I could get clean if I got away from my family. Okay. Because my family was like, I don't want to say it in a bad way. It was like a ignorance because they not going to let my family, we ain't going to let each other fail. Right. So long as I knew I had something to fall back on. If I got out there, I needed somebody to sleep, take a shower. If I need to do this and that. Or if I was out too many days, they going to come get me and snatch me up. Right. So I just had to get away from that. Okay. So I told him, and I never forget this, man. That night I told you I walked to the Delaware River, going to commit suicide. Right. This is the blessing. I'm telling people, this is the blessing God put on me. When I went home, I sat on that porch in front of my house. I cried all night. I woke up. I was sitting on my step sleep. A girl pulled up in the yard. Mm-hmm. My mom gave that girl $20. Said, "Don't give this to him. Give it to his brother." My brother, which was a cop here in North Carolina. Right. She bought me a bag of underwear. Put some T-shirts in a brown paper bag, some underwear. She bought me a pair of pants and a shirt. She said, "You out of here." I moved here and lived with my brother, and I moved. That's when I came to North Carolina. That's what got me here. My mom, I said, "You got to go." And the 2 people that I got to show mad love to was my probation officer. I went to school with him, and a girl named Kathy Fletcher. Me and her was real cool because she lived in Salem, and I was on probation at the time. And my probation officer said, "Look, man, we good." He said, "But if you go somewhere and you stay out of trouble for a month, I'll drop all your stuff." And I was on like probation forever. I had like 300-something hours of community service. Yes. And I didn't have no money. Okay. So when I moved, I called my girl out. I told my probation, I said, "Look, I moved here with my brother in North Carolina." And, he said, "Well, you good." He said, "But you can't get in no trouble." He said, "If you stay out of trouble for 30 days or whatever it was," he said, "I'll get all your stuff dropped." And then I called the treasurer, the girl, my friend. She was overtaking. You know how you gotta you make your payments, right? Like on your fines. Yeah. I said, "Look, Kathy, I'm stressing right now." I said, "I just moved to North Carolina. I ain't got no job yet." I said, "But I need you to help." She said, "Look, I got you." Okay. She said, "I got you." And man, she was like, she would pay my fine. Nice. She paid my fine just because I didn't have the money. I just started working. Yeah. And my man Dennis Lusher, we went to school together. 90 days, bro. 90 days, I called him. I said, "Bro, I got a job. I've been doing good. I ain't getting in no trouble." Right. A month later, he sent me my papers, so all shit is done. Wow. And Kathy, nice. I said, "Kathy, I'm paying my stuff." I said, "Look, I'm going to pay." She said, "You ain't got to give me nothing." She said, "As long as you stay clean, you good."
That's a blessing.
That's a friend.
That's a friend. That's right. That's good stuff.
I don't mean to break down, but stuff like that, bro.
It's real, bro.
Man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's real.
But this is the kind of love that people have for me before I fell off. Right. Because I used to help people. Right. Because that was my, once I see what we went through as kids, I said, "Nah, I'm not letting no kids go through that." I said, "If I can help in any way, I like the Y, I would get them in the Y for free. I would get them a scholarship, so I would pay for them. I said, I'm not letting no kid go through what I went through if I can help them." Right. You know what I mean? But when you have people like that in your life, you gotta give back, bro.
That's right.
You gotta give back.
Absolutely. That's big.
So like that serious. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
sorry
real.
about that, bro.
No, that's real. Hey, bro, look, you gotta exhale, bro. That's real. That's a blessing. You still here, man.
Yeah.
You blessed, and that's the thing. Some people don't recognize that God put people in our life to help us, and sometimes we forget those people. We think it's just we thank God for everything, but sometimes we gotta actually say, hey, thank you, this person, thank you, that person, because you were there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You are who God chose to put in my life to help me get on a good path like that. Yeah, that's a blessing.
And what people don't understand is like people that you might not have no relationship might be that last person that you run into that might be there for you to help you.
That's right.
So you gotta just
That's right.
I learned this is one thing I learned about respect. Just because a person don't respect you, just because a person doesn't respect you, you respectfully distance yourself from them. Right. You don't have to argue with them.
Absolutely.
You don't have to fight with them. You respectfully distance yourself away from them. But I guarantee the next time they see you, they're gonna show you more respect.
That's right.
Because
Absolutely.
you humble their ass.
That's right. That's real.
You
That's
see
real.
me?
That's real. Look, I've been doing it since I've been.
Right.
I've been doing that.
Yeah, but you have to live it, and you know, and it's like when I first moved here, oh bro, they got this slick talking, fast talking dude from Jersey.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
man, I was like, yo, they were scared to let me come into the cultural. They were scared of me coming down to that cultural center because they thought I was up to something. No, I'm just here trying to put myself and my people in a position where you got to treat us better.
Right.
And you gotta talk to us better. You gotta let us have more access to this more access to all these resources down here.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is one thing I would hold true dealing with me. If it wasn't for me, I ain't saying nobody up. If it wasn't for me,
right,
all that stuff that's going on in the culture center right now, it probably wouldn't be going on.
Right.
Cause I went down there and I battled them and I made them do stuff. I made them. I ain't
when I first came to Greensboro, I'm talking to everybody out there, and I went down to the Cultural Arts Center. The first thing they said to me was, "Do you know Syid, or do you know Josephus?" And I was like, "Nah, why? Who are they?" It was just like, these guys, they're plugged in and they're doing it. And, and I'm like, nah, I ain't met them yet. But it was funny because y'all two names was just locked in their mind. When it came to black men in that whole arts arena, Syid Josephus.
Well, like I said, wow. I got it. And this like I said, when I speak truthfully. I had to talk to Josephus one time.
Okay.
I had to get him younger than me. I had to get him straight.
Okay.
I had to be like, yo, bro.
Everybody needs some straightening now.
Right. I said, listen now, let me. I said, we good.
Right.
I said, but I'm not that type of black person.
Right.
I said, so even though you getting your thing together here, I said, but I'm not that type of dude where we had that conversation now.
Right.
I said, so I said, we good, and we've been good ever since. Because sometimes you got to do that sometimes. I respect the hell out of them. But sometimes I be like, well, just because I'm not from here, I'm from here.
Right.
So let's be nice about this.
Right.
But like I tell people now, and I'm proud of that part of my life because I came here, with a mission just to stay clean. Right. And then I said, I'm getting into this film and getting to this theater and stuff, but you're not gonna lock the doors on me if it's called the Cultural Center. Right. And that's up there for a reason. Right. So like I told, and like I said, if it wasn't for me, they can say what they want. All that stuff, they weren't even showing films in there. I was the first person showing films in there. Wow. I was the first person who actually was doing like black plays that represented us. Wow. We did a play about damn Malcolm X.
I remember that.
We was like stuff. I was bringing stuff to there like that, I remember that, yeah. And they was like, "Yo, we ain't ready for this. Well, you got to now because you got Mr. Black Power here." and I'm proud of that because now we got so much going on down there, and people, the doors are open. They're a lot wider.
Tell me about your connection that you feel that you have to your ancestors, like Malcolm, people like that. Like, tell me about the connection you feel.
Well, you know what? As a kid, just like now, they really from Jersey. Even being from Jersey, in our school, they wasn't really teaching you a lot about real black history.
Right.
They teach you about the black history that they want you to know about, where, they show you the fucking, excuse me for cussing, they show you the monkey chart. This is y'all.
Right,
Wait a minute though, but y'all who? Was it the black people or was it all of us?
Right.
Because I don't see no white monkeys in there. So when you talk about the monkey, the chart, you remember that growth chart?
Yeah,
how man evolved?
Evolution of man.
Evolution of man. So every time we do the class about the monkey, it's kind of like the teacher's always looking at us talking about, this is the evolution of y'all. What the heck that mean? You feel me? I'm like, so I'm thinking, what do you mean by that? Right. But Miss Jenny LaRue Frisbee, 4'11", Afro this big, dashiki. She came after, she was Afrocentric down. She was about the culture.
Okay.
And she was like that person that really sparked my interest into how proud I should be as a black man and as a black person. Nice. And when I first met her, I got suspended for 5 days because I picked her up and spun her around in the middle of the classroom, and she pinched me. I ain't never been pinched like that. And she guided me straight to the office, and they suspended me.
Get out of here. You picked her up. What you pick her up for?
I was bugging. I was bugging. I was bugging in high school, bro. I was on a mission. And she pinched me and guided me straight to the office. They suspended me too. But she was the person that made me realize how important black men was, how important our role was as black men, even in high school.
Okay.
And then I got on. Then when I got on the wrestling team, messing with them crazy white boys, that made me even more of like a team person, because it's about unity, man. And I, it's like now, no. As all the stuff I post, even like the dozens that I went to school with on the wrestling team that read my posts, we have like mad love and have mad conversations, man. It's not like they were like, oh, they know, because we know each other. They knew how my hair was back then. Right. I just couldn't express it as much. But that Miss Jenny, if it wasn't for Miss LaRue Frisbee, and then start dealing with the Nation of Islam, it really made me become the person that I am today.
Okay.
So
makes sense.
So that was crazy.
So, now let's go into what made you start to do a film, your first film.
Oh,
Where'd that come from?
Well, when I was when I went to jail, county jail, and when I went to the county jail, I didn't do nothing but write. I just went write. Because I always had a creative mind. Because the first play I ever did, I wrote when I was in the first play. The first thing I ever wrote was I was in the 8th grade and we did a middle school play.
Okay.
And we wrote a play, was like, basic play, got to church, guy's an alcoholic, he comes in, he gets saved, stuff like that.
Okay.
So that was like the first play that I wrote. Then, you go through all your little teen stuff like that. But then when I got locked up, I ain't had nothing else to do but sleep and write and and stuff like that. Then when I moved here, I met this my neighbor. He was in high school. He was going to A&T as a freshman. He was in the communications. Okay. And I used to have me a little camera like on my son doing stuff. He said, yo, you in the film? I said, no, I'm just trying to get into it. He said, shoot, I'm over here at A&T, man. He said, look, you can hang with me. So I started going with him to like just everything. Because he was on the communications, so he got access to all the cameras, did everything. Right? And so that what really got me into it. And then I tell people this, me and him, we videoed Fantasia's first birthday party at the Empire Ballroom. Oh wow! Downtown after after the American Idol thing.
Right.
Big party too. Big. But that's what really got me into filming. And then
you still got that footage?
I can't find it.
Oh man!
It's we filmed the whole party. Wow. I'm gonna have to ask him about that. Cause I did it on tapes, and I got that's before the SD cards came. I got 1,000 tapes, but I got so many tapes I can't remember what I named it.
Wow.
Yeah,
you gotta find that.
Yeah, I gotta find that. But we did that, and it's like what really got me into film was just like when I went to the Black Theater Festival, but they really wasn't doing films then. But then I went to the ABFF. I went to the ABFF fight twice. In Florida, like where Camilla's at now. Right. I went there twice, and that really got my juices flowing. Okay. That really got my juices flowing. I said, man, I need to get into this because this is like, yo, you know what I mean? And I wrestled. This is what stunned my film career. This is what started my film career. Okay. Because I met people. I mean, even with my first wife, her people was in the entertainment. hurt people. But what stunned in my film career, and this is the first time I ever told you this, I was afraid I was going to get out there and get back into that drug, start getting high. Because I seen too much when I used to go to these parties. So I was afraid that I was going to fall back into that trap.
Gotcha.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to like the parties where, not no bitty party stuff, but I'll go to parties where people they getting high, they drinking, they smoking, everybody want to hug on you and all that. And I just seen the direction these parties was going to take me. Right. I was going to and I was back in
celebration with
I would go to Atlanta, man. Like my friend, he had a club. They had like his club was called. It was a church, but he turned it into a club.
Okay.
Man, that's where I met Eva and all these people. When I go to these parties, like when I went to ABFF, I went to some nice spots, but I just seen that. I said, no, I can't. That I'm not doing. I'm not risking my sobriety just for a film or some shit like that. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I said, I'm gonna come home and be a local hero. Right. You know. So
like they say, big fish in a small pond. Huh?
Yo, bro. This is what people gotta understand about the drug game. I don't care if you fitty or you me down here. Drugs is drugs. Right. It has the same effect on everybody. Right. So whether you're rich or poor, you still gonna get high and you're gonna take a fall.
You're gonna take a fall.
You see what I'm saying? That's so I said I'm not taking that fall again. That's right. And plus Allah put somebody in my life that gave me a chance to live again. Right. You know what I mean? With my wife. And my wife is hard. My friend called my wife the general.
The general.
My wife, but she was good. And it's not the general mean she tell me what to do. Yeah, I know. You know what I mean? But she was good for me. The structure, bro.
That you needed. Yeah.
That I needed.
That you needed. That's right.
So, and she every now and then we have our conversation, but she let me do what I do because that's what I told this. This is what God told me to do. Right. Because if God didn't have me doing this, I could be still like there doing dumb shit. Right. You know what I mean? But that's how I got into it, man.
So your first film was?
Yeah, what was my Nick?
It was called Nick?
It's a little hood film. Will Dalton was in it.
Really?
Yeah, Jeffrey.
What was Nick about?
Nick was a little gangster, little hood. Okay, Nick. Was it Nick? Nick. Yeah, Nick was my first. Nick was a drug dealer. Gave his, Tiffany was in it. A drug dealer gave his nephew some drugs to sell. Okay. And he didn't do the right thing. But his wife think that her husband killed her nephew because he ain't seen him in a while, but he's hiding. Okay. So it was like this young drug dude that's going running the streets being crazy, and his wife, and he's looking for his nephew, and his partner said, "Man, leave that boy alone. You know how he is. You should never gave him the dope anyway." And his whole attitude was, "Don't nobody get over on me." And his wife was like, "Listen, I'm your wife. You ain't gonna do nothing to him, period." And then they had that argument, and then they go through the whole thing, and then he dealing with two dirty cops. So the two dirty cops snatches Nick's nephew up and holds him hostage to set up Nick. Okay. Well, set up Nick's, set up the drug dealer, his wife, his aunt's husband. Okay. It's crazy. It's nice to it's called Nick.
And then the next one was what? Political?
Nah, I did Nick. Was it political? Man, I can't remember. I done shot like over 30. I done shot like 30 films. 30 films. And I don't even got them all out. I done shot a lot of stuff, man. I got Bully, Nick, Bully, Nick. What else? I shot an interracial film. I shot Butter. I shot some documentaries.
I think when I met you, you was doing. I think you had just finished with Political.
Political. Yeah, I got Political.
You was doing Butter. You was doing You did Butter prior to that, but then you was doing a revision of Butter.
Yeah. And
then what else?
I did. I shot a film called Grand Slam about the Negro League baseball players.
Really?
Yeah.
Where that's at?
It's in my archives, man. It turned out
like Grand Slam. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, this like I said, this is like a lot of stuff, old stuff, man. And Grand Slam.
That sounds cool, man.
And it's like about the Negro League baseball, about a guy. He was a makeup of Willie Mays and Hank Aaron, the two greatest baseball players ever. Wow. But he had a gambling addiction, so he got caught up, and the white people was paying him to throw a game. They had a game against the National League versus the Negro League All-Stars. Okay. And the white people paid him to throw the game because he was in debt to a black loan shark.
Wow.
And
you shot that whole thing already?
I shot the whole thing.
It's just sitting in the archive.
Yeah, we did it. Listen, man, we did that into a play.
Okay.
And Carlos will tell you, they had to come out. They had to come out on stage and say, "Listen, this is only a play."
Get out of there.
Because it's not racial.
Wow.
Because the game is like, yo, it's racial. It's
wow.
like, and so my man said, yo, this is only a play. Because people's getting heated.
People get heated.
Yeah. This is only a play. And what made it funny, the first time we did it, it was called the Greensboro Fringe Festival. It's like a Fringe Festival all theater. We was like the first all-black production in the play. And the play was called Grand Slam.
Okay.
And what happened was, it was a coincidence, like, all the white people sitting on this side of the venue, and all the black people sitting on this side of the venue.
And it just so happened to be like that.
It happened to be like that.
And then the play come out.
When the play come out.
The racial divide is real.
The racial divide is real. But then when the game come out, the racial divide is real.
Oh, man.
And it was just like, that was just like crazy to us because we didn't understand the severity of it and the meaning of it until we sat there and just said, this is crazy because we show people how easy it is and how quick you can create a racial divide over something as simple as a baseball game.
Speaking of racial divide.
Oh, man. Let's go.
Be like, look, let's go deep. Let's go deep. So you mentioned earlier, not in this podcast, but prior to the podcast, that you had a problem with, what's the words they call it when it's racial dating. Interracial dating.
Interracial dating.
Yeah, you had a problem with that until, explain it to the people.
So I'm not big on interracial dating. Well, I'm gonna say I wasn't big on. Let me clean this up. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with people interracial dating if that's what you did since I've known you.
Right.
But when people get on here and become famous or whatever, then all of a sudden they say, I got this white girl, this person for this reason, and it make it seem like you're downing black women. I have an issue with that.
Right.
I have a big issue with that. But I also I had an issue with just interracial dating in the beginning, period. But my nephew, he got 2 kids by 2 white girls. And my nephew schooled the heck out of me out of some of this. He said, so you're telling me you don't love your niece and nephew? I said, nah, why you say that? He said, because their moms are white. So if you have an issue with interracial dating, you got an issue with your niece and your nephew, and they love you to death. Mm. So what I mean,
so
life hits you hard.
Right, it definitely does.
You feel me?
Hey, like I said.
So I gotta respect people now.
Right.
No matter what reason they do it for.
Right.
I gotta respect them now because before I was like, oh man, you messing up the bloodline, but that's their bloodline.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So the smallest thing creates the biggest lessons.
Oh man, listen. Ignorance is expensive. And I say, the one thing about 2026 is it make you think about what the heck did you really know in 1982 or 1970 something or what did you really know? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we're relearning things that either wasn't taught or everything just became questionable. Yeah, it's like everything that think about you and your friends as teenagers, all those conversations about everything. Race, money, girls, relationships, drugs. In your teenage, all of that stuff was wrong.
It was wrong. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna say it was wrong because we didn't know. We're just being newly educated.
Right. We was ignorant.
Right. And I'm just saying this. I'm not gonna say we was ignorant because it was just it was just how we was taught to believe that.
Right.
Now, once you get the truth,
right,
and you still believe that, then you're ignorant to the fact. You feel me?
Exactly.
But like you said, stuff that we learned and all this back then, it's just like the simplest thing. Like when we used to go on the basketball court and play ball or any sport or anything, you'd be like, man, that's an OB move. You a punk this thing. You can't even do that now.
No, you can't.
You call somebody a punk or you call them something on the basketball court.
Right.
Now people going to get on it. They're going to blast you for hating on gay people.
Right.
Nah, I don't hate on gay people. That's just something we say.
Right.
I don't hate on women.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, like small stuff like that. They just make it critical because they know once they make stuff critical like that, they can control the narrative.
Right. Right. It was man, I wish I could remember that words that guy said. He said something about, it was like the 4 D's. You heard about the D's? It was like demonize. I'm gonna have to Google it. It was like they demonize you. It was basically, it led up to how they attack you.
Right.
They destroy you at the end. The last D was destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
But before it was like make you appear crazy, demonize you, basically tell the world you're this, you're that, you're that. So now when they actually destroy you, nobody even cares.
They don't care.
Nobody cares.
And that's what they try to do. I listen to Cat Williams. That's what they try to do to Dave Chappelle when they talking about he got on the dope and went to Africa. None of that was true.
Right.
David Chappelle had the contract where y'all owe me $500 million. You gotta hear Cat Williams tell you the story, and they tell me what we gonna do. We gonna make them feel like you was a dope addict. You went to crack and you went to Africa. That's what they did. All the D's.
Right.
And come to find out when they interviewed Dave Chappelle, he told him, he said, no, they owe me $500 million based on the contract that we signed.
Wow.
But now they just wanted to give me $50 million in code. He said, no, I told him I wasn't gonna do that. So they told him we gonna drag your name, we're gonna put you in the mud. Right. And this is a true story. He said he was on crack. He said he went to Africa. He said all this kind of stuff. Right. But he said I went to Africa. He said I went to Africa to get away from them. But I wasn't on no dope. He said I'm a Muslim. He said I'm a devoted Muslim. I ain't doing no dope.
Right.
So that's what happens.
That's deep.
You know what I'm saying?
It's real. Listen, it's funny because people judge the story and the script, but they don't know behind the scenes is people saying, let's make this look real.
Listen, you know, it's like you've been in the industry.
Right.
You know, I touched the industry. You've been in the industry. That's stuff that you probably know that you said, you know what, I'm not going to tell the story because I don't want to hurt nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to tell the story because it's not for me to tell. But you've seen it all.
Right. I've seen a lot of stuff.
You've seen a lot of stuff.
And the crazy part is some of those stories hurt your friends. You know what I mean? People that you're cool with, people that you shared a sandwich with, people that told you, like, I remember sitting in front of people where they were like, man, I'm about to get dropped from this label, man. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, man. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And they'd be like, I could do this or I could do that. And I'd be like, it's up to you, though, man.
Yeah.
It's your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's your life. And, you know, they'll make a move. And look, I just be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you made your choice. And I think it's the same thing because some people will think because it's industry people that when they do something crazy, it should be public or blown up. But think about your homeboy that said, I'm about to go rob the bank.
Yeah.
You ain't telling the world that he would.
I knew he was going to do that.
I knew he was going to do it. And this is who did it. And he did it on the 13th at 8 p.m.
But,
like, you ain't going to do that.
But you know what, though?
You know who did what, though.
But you know what, though? But that's the difference between back then and now.
Right.
We knew we going to keep our thing with tight.
Right.
Now, if you tell somebody you're going to do that, these young kids might put it on Facebook.
Oh,
and and the fool and the dummy is going to rob the bank and say, come on, man, let's do this thing live.
Right.
And then we get caught.
We in the bank, y'all.
Yeah.
We about to hit the teller right now, y'all.
Yeah.
Here you go. Get the money up.
Yeah. So what did I tell you about where people's head are at right now?
Right.
But they don't understand. I'm not gonna. When I went to jail, to jail. I was in the county jail. I got extradited to a little county jail in the north. Then when they sent me to prison, man, I was out of prison where it is. I went to an honor camp. No guns, no nothing. Because I wasn't no real major criminal.
Right.
I didn't want to leave.
Man,
I was at the club. Listen, I balled all day. They fed you like you was at a resort.
Right.
I didn't have nowhere to go.
Right.
I was in the North Carolina. No, I was in Salisbury, Spencer, North Carolina. I ain't had nowhere to go. I was homeless.
Right.
Because I ain't had nowhere to go. So why I want to leave? And I'm eating, playing ball, and looking good.
And some of the smartest hustlers in the world is in the jail telling you about what they going to do.
What they going to do next?
Like,
I'm like, what?
How you do that?
I said, man, all I'm trying to do is get out here and go home and be with my family. They already putting that next move together. I said, you remember now, that first move what got you here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He's talking about, let's connect when we get out. Man, I ain't connecting nothing but the dots. I'm getting up out of here. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man.
Everybody got a plan that don't work.
Right.
You know.
Oh, man. Like they say, you plan, but God plans.
Listen, guys, you better go with God's plan.
You better go with God's plan.
Yeah.
You got that lesson is far from that blessing. I'm trying to tell you, what? Anything that look good ain't good for you, boy.
Boy, hey, I learned
that. You can't get to the next level until you graduate from that level. It's like that saying, he won't give you more than you can handle. So, he'll stop you.
Well, and some stuff, and I hear these people talking about God won't put on you, like you just said. Listen, let me say something to you. If somebody come and punch you in the face, and you go back and get punched in the face again, that ain't got nothing to do with God. Right. He already told you the first time that you can't handle that.
Exactly.
You gotta let that go.
Either punch back or
don't go back. It's one or the other.
That's real. But that's amazing because even the body, right? You could sit here and try to eat and keep eating, the body will shut you off.
The body will shut you off.
It'll be like, no. You can't even, you can try to put it in your mouth and the body go,
yeah.
It will stop itself from being killed by your ignorance.
By your ignorance.
That's crazy. Boy,
but that just goes to show you what type of machine his body is.
Right. Absolutely.
And it's a human machine.
Oh, man.
They
can't be recreated. They trying.
They
can't even create a blood cell.
Come on, man.
Not even one.
Not one.
They got to clone the blood cell, but can't create the blood cell. It's serious.
Yeah.
It's serious, man. Yeah, we heck of a creation, boy. I'll tell you that much. But I think that's another reason why people need to cherish what God gave them. That body, that brain, those limbs that work. You got to cherish that thing, man.
You know what, man? People put such a bad word on God, religion, church, whatever. This is what I want people to understand. I want people to understand this. Once we got off that slave shit, no matter what people can say, well, the white man Bible is this, the white man Bible is that. Right. Once we got off that slave shit, until somebody figured out a way to make us not fear God, that Bible was our source and our strength. That Bible got us through a whole bunch of stuff, whether people, they can say what they want. Just having faith in them words in that Bible got us through 68, 71, got us through King and Kill, got us through everything. So when people start blaming the Bible for what we going through, it ain't the Bible's fault. It's those who turned the Bible into a money-making profit.
And then you gotta understand too, some of these people came over here, they just had the words of Islam. They didn't even have.
They didn't even have a Bible.
They was like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and what people understand, and the only reason why I said the Bible, because I didn't want to get into the words of Islam, because they regardless if they forced us into believing in the Bible or whatever, that helped get us through a time where we had enough belief in God that we was going to get through it.
Right.
And I tell people, y'all got to stop that. You know what I mean? How it's like, how can people have a mega church and black people homeless? How can you have a mega church with 10,000 members and people ain't got nothing to eat?
Right.
How can you have a jet and people ain't got nothing to eat, and you telling your church you want more?
Yeah, that's greed.
Come on.
Yeah,
and that's what's turning people against. It shouldn't turn people against religion. It should turn people against those who taking advantage of the God that we serve every day.
Right. And you know what's crazy? It's crazy is because that black pastor that the people talk about, he ain't even the richest cat doing it. He's just the one that's closest to you.
To you.
And you can see the Bentley and you can see the mansion and you can see that. So you're pointing the finger at him. But man, he following a whole program.
It's a program.
It's been handed down. And he like, I'm trying to get mine too. Just like they get it over there.
Right. But when it comes to us though, I just think when it comes to us that I'm not going to say us. That's anybody that's poor, that's going to church and believing in the word. I just don't think that whoever it came from, whoever book it came from, I think it's like you and I being married. When you say I do, you said I do for a reason.
Right.
So when a person say, well, and we all short of perfect. But if you say I'm going to be this person, you have to work at that being that person every day. And and some of us fall short. Right. But you can't be in a pulpit and somebody next thing you know you got 3 kids by another woman and you doing all this stuff or messing with another man and say you made a mistake. No, you knew you made that mistake from day one, brother.
Right.
So either let it go or come clean. But it's hard. But like the guy said, it's hard to give up that money though.
Listen, when you think about it, when it said like this in the Bible, where he said, "I cast you down," with Adam and Eve talking to the devil, right? And the devil said, "Grant me respite, so that I may sit on the left, the right, and front and back of every human being to knock them off your righteous path." And God said, "I grant you that. And whoever you knock off my path will be in the hellfire with you." So that basically means every human being on this planet is being tested.
Yes.
And he's going to whisper, because he can't make you, you know how they used to say, the devil made me do it.
I don't you tell me that.
He said, I ain't make you do nothing.
I ain't make you do nothing.
But he going to whisper in every person's ear about lust, about greed, about all the sins that's in every book.
Yeah.
You know? And everybody's going to be tested.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they just getting tested on bigger levels. It's just levels to the money. It's levels to the greed.
Yeah.
It's levels to the sex.
Yeah.
It's level, you got one person that's a hoe because he got 2 or 3, and then you got a person that's a super hoe because they got 20 and 50. But and it's just like
this is the whole thing though. I think we had a conversation before. And like I said, when we talk about the whole thing, like the month thing, it's like I like Kim Kardashian.
You like Kim Kardashian?
Yes. But people be like, man, she's a hoe. I said, well, wait a minute. Pretty. But they say she's a hoe, right?
Okay.
So this is what I asked. I was doing the conversation with these girls one time. I said, okay, so y'all don't like Kim Kardashian? They said, no. I said, so y'all 4 girls, right? I said, how many boyfriends have y'all had or how many people have y'all had sex with? I said, be honest. I said, if you have 5 boyfriends in your time, you had sex with them. I said, same thing. I said, so what make her different from you?
Right.
If you had sex with 5 men and she has sex with 5 men, what makes her a hoe? What make you not being a hoe? I said, the difference is she getting paid. You're not. Well, I said,
what's crazy is being young from the hood, you wasn't nobody unless you was getting bodies.
Back. Yeah.
Like,
they wasn't even messing with that.
You wasn't the cool guys. You wasn't getting girls.
She stuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then, the girl wasn't even hot unless 20 guys wanted her.
Right.
So it was like.
Right. But now it's different.
Yeah. It's listen, they mentioning money and they making it seem like they getting so much money. Right. But they ain't getting no money. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday is just like today.
We talked about that, right?
You go and get you a girl. A girl will go get a guy with money, and then they want to be taken care of by that guy. The guy do the same thing. Go find a girl with money. He want to be taken care of. We done seen it both ways.
Ain't nothing new.
Both ways. You know what I mean? It's always a lopsided relationship. Yeah. One got money, one don't. It's like that. The girl up,
it ain't never both got money.
That equal thing don't really exist.
It don't exist.
That exists, it's always a tug of war.
You know,
with them two.
And then even like you and I being married, people say we equally yoked. No, we are equally yoked. But your wife is going to be like this. There's some things that you need to take care of that I'm not going to take care of.
Right.
But our thing is like this, honey. We need you to take care of this.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's good though.
Look, let me ask you this. Do you ever have a challenge? Because I think every married man deals with this, but a lot of married men don't like talking about this type of stuff. The challenges that we have with looking at other women and desiring other women.
Well, listen, man. One thing my wife would tell you about me, I have wandering eyes.
Right.
She said, I know you looking. She would say, I know you're looking at her.
Yo, my old manager used to be like, Kilo, you reckless eyeballing that chick.
Yeah. So I ain't gonna, and like I told my wife, I said, stop. I said, if, because she's a big Prince fan.
Okay.
I said, honey, if Prince came to that door right now with a pair or whatever, or you telling me you're not gonna look. If a nice looking guy came to that door right now, buff, whatever. You tell them you're not gonna look. I said, stop. I said, because I'm gonna look.
Right.
I said, so you already know.
Right.
If
I'm
Holly
gonna look,
back,
'cause I know you will.
yeah, I'm gonna look. Yeah, I'm gonna look for you. Because I know, because she know, she already know who my baby is, Holly Berry. She tell you, if anybody ever win a quiz show, or they gotta ask her is who's Saeed's love, and she gonna say Holly Berry. Now she know if Holly Berry comes to that door, I'm gonna look. Yeah, I'm gonna get up and look.
You gonna look,
but they know we look, and I know they look.
Right.
You know, when you're young, you have them kind of arguments. You like, oh, what is?
Yeah.
Look
when you get older, you just be like,
yeah, you be like, come on.
Ain't nobody checking no
And
phones
they,
at 50 years old.
50 years, for what?
If you checking the phones at 50,
get out the game. You get out that relationship.
Yeah, just get out that relationship. It's over.
Come on, man.
People literally are gonna do what they want to do. And sometimes people need a text that say, "Hey, beautiful," or "You fine." You just make them feel good about themselves. Don't mean nothing. Just a little bit of ego push, a little bit of celebration.
There's nothing wrong with telling people they nice looking.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's like,
I do that all the time. Though.
Yeah, you're like, I mean, listen, I can make you famous. I said, what you mean by that? Look, I'm a filmmaker. You want to be in a film? You look pretty, I'll put you in it.
Yeah, I just tell people, I be like, yo, you are gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I said, look, I ain't trying to come on to you and look.
Right.
You nice looking, you know what I mean? I said, feel good about yourself. I think you got to just smile. Walk by and smile. Feel good about yourself. Because a lot of good looking people, male or female, they always like they mad about something. You ain't got nothing to be mad about.
Look, where we from, up top, when you meet somebody, you automatically say, yo, let's meet.
Right.
Let's meet at the coffee shop. Let's meet at this. Let's meet. Boy, when I came down south, and I said, let's meet at Panera, or let's meet at Jake's, or just meet me at the Waffle House. Boy, I guess I was trying to talk to the whole city.
Yeah.
I was trying to push up on everybody. Let them tell it. I was just trying. I'm like, I'm good. I ain't trying to holler at you. I'm trying to holler. You know, some people are fine and you have to acknowledge their beauty, but I'm good.
Yeah.
It ain't that. I'm trying to connect. Can we build something? You want to do a project? You look good. You should be in this movie.
That's what I be telling you.
Everybody ain't getting to holler at that.
You know, people say, people even say this to me, they say, like, you're like the happiest person in the world. I said, what do I got to be upset about?
Listen.
You know what I mean? I
tell people I smile because so many of my friends are gone.
Come
and
on,
I'm
bro.
still here,
we
man.
Still here.
Still here.
And can get around.
Waking up. I'm happy. Waking up every day like, yo, life is good. What am I going to do today?
What am I going to do today?
You know what I'm saying? And then when you got the little ones, like I got my little daughter, and she make me laugh. Make me smile, you know?
Like when my grandkids call me, you know what I mean? My wife said, I already know you're going to go get them. I said, you want me to go get them anyway.
Right.
You just don't want to drive over there to get them.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
you know what's funny about little ones? We have to gauge ourselves when it comes to little people because the world is so crazy that when a little kid go pew, 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 stop that dog on running. Like they create a little aggravation in us because we're really aggravated already about a whole bunch of other stuff. Mm-hmm. But we have to say, yo, guess what? That same little kid that you trying to stop from having fun is one day gonna be a kid not even talking to you. They're gonna be on their phone like, you're going to be like, how was your day? How was your work day? Come on, talk to me. They're going to be like,
we ain't got nothing to talk about.
What? So you got to let them be kids and communicate and have fun while you can. Tomorrow ain't promised for you or them.
Right. And because the older they get, the further they're going to draw themselves away from you.
Right.
Because they got different interests. Right. They got teen interests. Right. They got different interests.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And so.
And we know our brother who lost his grandchild.
Yeah.
And his child. Like, that's a hard one.
That's hard.
So you have to literally, like, enjoy every moment, every second, man. Just enjoy everything, man. Celebrate everything.
I do. I mean, I'm just happy. At my age, I'm just happy that I can get up and I can still get around.
That's right.
You know, I can get up, I can get around. I mean, I don't get up as fast.
Yeah.
But I get around and...
See, you ain't got no reason to get up too fast.
If I get up too fast, I get dizzy. I'm talking about, you look like you 50-something. Right. I said, but bro, look, I said, what the Bible say? Yeah. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Oh, I know all about it, brother.
You know?
I tell you, yeah, man. I be like this. I done switched out pillows 3 times. And I said, none of these working. I'm about to do like Uncle D and just sleep on the floor. He like the floor. He be like, man, sleep on the floor is the best thing.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it helps.
I'm telling you.
It helps.
So what you got coming next, bro?
What coming next? Well, I'm getting ready to do a film called War Room.
War Room.
Then we still got our film on the slate, Brother Black, Private Detective. And then I'm gonna get back into Butter. But I want to talk, but I want to just shift gears a little bit before I go. I want to talk about this revolution thing, bro.
Talk about it. Let's hear about this.
So, like David, now I said this before. There's stuff Cat Williams say, not Cat Williams. What's the little dude name? I had a name on my mind too. Charlie or something.
Okay.
Charleston White. There's stuff he say that I don't agree with, but a lot of stuff he say that I agree with. But I respect Charleston White and Cat Williams because they stand by what they say.
Okay.
They stand by what they say. But this is the thing to get me. When we always had this conversation about the Black Revolution. And you know what I mean? And
were they talking about that?
No. This is like David Banner, and he said something one time. And all these people talk about the Black Revolution and Black liberation. And people have to understand we never had a revolution. Black America had never had a revolution. Right. So how you gonna sit here talk about a Black revolution and you don't even know what a revolution is? Right. You got an idea of what a revolution is because of the Civil War and a little thing that they did on January 6th. That's a revolution when you try to overthrow a government. Right. Now, what Black person or what Black group in this country gonna have the in the right mind and say we're gonna go overthrow the government? Right. So we have to. These are the conversations that we have to get away from. So our revolution the Black revolution for us is a financial revolution. We have to learn how to work our money that specifically involves us. You know what I mean? We have to have a financial revolution because in the 60s, the bus boycott showed them how much power we had. We started riding the buses. We started doing all this kind of stuff. They showed them. It took them almost a year, but they got their point across. So we got to have a financial literacy revolution opposed to this fist thing. Right. So unless we learn that, we done. That brings to that, and that what brings you liberation. And now people got to really sit down at the table and talk to you. We got $1.6 trillion worth of spending power. Right. So is that telling people in this country that we spend money? Right. We spend money like nobody else spend money. So we take that money out of the economy, it's a dent in the economy. Because one thing that they know about us as Black people, we spend frivolously because we as a Black community thinking that these are our last days, so we're going to have fun until we die. That's how we think. Right.
So what do you think that the Black people should do financially to, like, what do you specifically think they need to do?
I think we're gonna have to sit down and and just create something that benefits us, whether it's a Black World Bank right here, but we just have to figure out what we're gonna do with our money as a community, period. Mm-hmm. You boycott Target. Right. And I agree with the boycott and I don't agree with the boycott because Target hire Black people. Okay. Say what you want, they hire Black people. Right. But you won't boycott the mom and pop stores in every corner in our neighborhood that ain't got no Black people, that's not owned by Black people. Right. You won't boycott the Chinese, the Indians, none of them, even some of the African stores that don't have Black Americans in our neighborhood. But you won't boycott them because they got your cigarettes, they got your little Switch sweet packs, they got your alcohol. They got all that stuff to supply your needs. So we won't boycott them. And that's what we need to be focusing on. You know what I mean? We need to say, listen, if you're not going to give some of that money back to the community and help this and that, build whatever, we gotta have to shut you down. Right. That's what we got to do.
There's a lot of addictions there that people don't talk about when it comes to even building wealth. It's like you mentioned the Chinese stores. These people are addicted to that Chinese rice. Right. They're addicted to that cigarette. They're addicted to that orange drink at McDonald's. They're addicted to all these different things that they would actually have to cut their addictions down to actually make a change.
But that's what, and it's like I wish I could find that thing. There was this Korean guy. I seen him on Facebook. It was this Korean guy. He was talking about how the civil rights benefited them than it benefited Black people.
Right. I believe it.
He said it.
I believe it.
He said the Black people civil rights movement has been it has benefited us and other culture than it had benefited the people that it was pretty much set up for.
Look, they said in the movie Roots, the man that owns the land controls the man on it.
Yeah.
So it's like in order for anybody to have any say so in this country,
You gotta
own. You gotta own
some
what I'm
things.
saying? Even when you go into a community meeting and everybody's sitting there, they listen there, they let everybody talk, but then there's such and such sitting in the back who own half the block.
Half the block.
And they look at him and say, "What do you think, Mr. Such and Such?"
And he ain't gonna say nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just listening.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's like my hometown. They put up a post of a city council meeting.
Right.
There was nobody in there but one person. So how, as black people, going to complain about this and that, and you don't even go to the city council meeting or the township meeting,
right?
To speak to your council. What do you have to complain about? You're not even showing up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Some of them jobs are about to be extinct, man.
But I'm just saying, people still
realize it ain't doing nothing.
It ain't nothing, but people still gotta. I mean, It's like this. If somebody gave you $1 million, let's say 50 people gave you $1 million.
Right.
But if the 50 people don't come and check on the $1 million, what you gonna do with it?
You said if they don't come check on
Right. What you gonna do with it? Gonna do what you want with it.
Right.
Because you're telling me right now you don't really care about your investment.
Don't care about it, yeah.
So if you don't go to these city council meetings and show interest in your community, this is what you get. That's why I said, so when we talk about revolution, our revolution ain't got nothing to do with nothing physical. Our revolution is about mental. Right. We gotta get mentally straight with ourselves and our brothers and sisters. Right. That's where the revolution comes from. I think everybody should have a gun, and I think everybody should protect themselves. I think everybody should protect their community. You know what I mean? But I don't think we should be out here sitting on a TV show telling people about a revolution, and you ain't know what a damn revolution is.
They ain't even listen. A person can't talk about a revolution unless they ready to die.
Thank you.
You have to be.
You got to be ready to die.
And if you're not ready to die, don't even talk about it.
That's my point.
Let me tell you, when they come to this country, people forget. Before we get to any laws, rules, and regulations, the first line of business was gangsterism. They came here and took over. Guns, brute force.
They took over. And that's
now anytime, and then they went through years of battling each other. People come from overseas, they ran them back out of here. This is ours, right? Then you had the mafia springed up, stealing stuff, and the boys in blue was going against the boys in black. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The mafia was going against the cops.
Yeah.
That war went on for a while. Then they dominated them. Then you got the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines as backup. If we got any really problems we can't handle, we're calling them boys.
If you go to my post that I put on Facebook today, I broke what you just said about the Army, Navy. That's why I broke it down to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? I said, listen, this as much as we want to sit here and talk about white people, white people showed you when they get fed up with the government what they will attempt to do. Absolutely. January the 6th.
Right.
That's a revolution.
Right.
Or a taste of one. Because they got fed up with whoever was in that office and said, we're going to have to do something. Right. You know what I mean? Now, did they succeed what they was doing? Overall, they didn't. Right. But then again, they did because they voted for Trump again.
They got some money coming.
So that's what I'm talking about. We can't do that. What we have to do is, I'm telling you, man,
here's another thing too, man. You know it's levels to this.
There's levels to this. Well, let me say this before you go forward. So everybody's talking about ICE and this, what's the name, right? ICE. Right. Explain to me why, as bad as some of these neighborhoods in our community, you got gang shootouts. Why ain't ICE showed up? Because you know why? Why do they need to show up when we doing them a favor? We killing each other. Right. Why does ICE need to come and do stuff that we doing for them?
And one of the reasons why the ICE ain't coming for the black man, because the black man ain't a threat to the economy.
Thank you.
They doggone, the Mexicans, the Spanish, they getting money.
They're a
threat to the American economy.
And
I remember when we was working on a house in Hawthorne, in High Point, Hawthorne Avenue. And we was working on his house, and I was working with the contractor, black contractor. And he was complaining about every other race coming, taking all the jobs, all the construction jobs. And he was specifically talking about Mexicans. Now, I'm hiring him trying to get a job done. I ain't really trying to hear all this chat he's talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm listening. And I'm like, yeah, He's like, yeah, man, and we lost the job and we lost this. He's like, even my white friends lost the jobs. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm listening, I just take it in. And then fast forward, when you hear about ICE and they snatching people up. I said, I bet you he happy.
As hell. Let me tell you something, bro.
Some people are really happy about ICE.
And
you got some people complaining, but some people are happy.
People don't know this. That's why I said I'm getting back to film because I'm getting into too much politics shit.
Right.
They're bringing more white South Africans over here.
Okay.
That's supposed to be poor.
The ones that got kicked out the country?
No, these are the ones that Trump bringing over here.
Okay, because I heard a lot of them was getting kicked out.
They not. No. That's what they saying is getting kicked out.
That's what they were saying.
But when you talk to the Africans, they said no. They said you can pull up the statistics that there's more black African farmers over here is getting killed than white people. What these white people doing is they rich. So what happened is Trump bringing them over here, and the people do their homework. They're moving them to the Midwest. They're taking the farmers in the Midwest is going broke, so they bringing all these white South Africans over here. They got money, is taking their land, and the same thing in Mississippi. So what they're moving the Mexicans out, they're bringing in the white South Africans to do that work, and that's true stuff.
I believe it.
But they don't. They don't tell you that.
When people talk about the leader of the country, I always say, hey, he's a broker.
Yeah, he's the best broker in the world too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he's brokering
business.
But
that's why, like I said, man, we really have to get off of this mentality of it's like fight, win, fight. We're not going to win.
Listen, fighting. We've been fighting all
our lives.
And now everybody wants some peace.
We want some peace. You know what I mean?
And they want a piece of the pie.
Then they want a piece of the pie.
They want a piece outside to enjoy the sun and watch their kids get older. And they want a piece of the pie so they can make some of their money. And they want a piece of the land.
Yeah, let me come out the house, enjoy what I work to enjoy, and just leave me alone.
Right.
I'm not trying to be in the whole.
Ain't nobody trying to die. The people that talk that junk must not have been to a lot of these gun shows. If you go to gun shows, you would see there's not a lot of black people that got the guns that the white people got.
The white people got.
And you got these people, they are gun fanatics. So guess what? I remember I was talking to this one guy at this pawn shop. He said, it's not going to be, he said, if there was ever a war or anything, he said, it ain't about the guns. He said, it's going to be a shortage on bullets.
Yeah, the ammunition. Yeah.
I said,
listen, I worked this white guy my job. He said, sir, Brother Syed, I ain't worrying about the guns I got. I'm worrying about the ammunition that I got. He said, I'm not trying to run out of ammunition. He said, I got 50 guns. Right. But if I don't have enough ammunition for 50 guns, I got enough ammunition for one gun.
I got one gun that works.
He said, but I got to have ammunition.
Right.
And that's what people talking about. They show this big gun rack. I'm like, how much ammunition you got?
Right.
You got a damn elephant gun, but how many elephant bullets you got?
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
So that's where we at. But I just had to bring that up because I just get tired of my brothers and talking about the revolution, man. And Gil Scott told them the revolution ain't going to be televised.
That part.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when these brothers get out there and say, listen, man, we got to talk more about the financial revolution and what we're going to do there. Because once we get the financial revolution together, we can buy stuff. We can own stuff.
Speaking of that, what do you think that some of the brothers who died, like literally put their lives on the line, some of the Black Panthers, look, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all of the stuff that they stood for, what do you think that they would say if they can see the world in 2026, how everybody on cell phones and how like houses and the banks and the foreclosures and, even success of black folks, the black millionaires, billionaires, 20 black billionaires, like what would you think they would say today? What do you think they say?
They would just shake their head. They'd be like, they would see some good in what they did, but they was like, I died for this.
Right.
They said, I died for this. But we died when we was at a point where we at least had a chance to sit at the table and eat. Right. Now we can't even sit at the table and eat no more because everybody's all over the place.
Right.
That's what I think they would do. They would just shake their head and say, I died for this.
But see, you got a diverse setting right now. You actually have 20 black billionaires.
But
they're not millionaires. They
But
billionaires.
you gotta understand, Rashid. You gotta understand thing. You gotta understand one thing about. You gotta understand the thing about black billions and white billions.
Okay.
It's the difference.
Okay.
Jay-Z got 4 billion, but the white dude could have 3 billion. Who you think got who you think got the best portfolio?
Oh no, I got that. But
So even with these
what is
billions, it's like
but what is the balance? Like, all right, for instance, right? Back then, equality was
people
voting rights.
because
housing.
but you gotta understand one thing though. Back then they didn't have nothing. They fought for a reason.
Right.
They didn't have nothing to lose because they didn't have nothing.
Right.
That's why they did it. They didn't do it for the. They can say they gave King and whatever they gave King. King still got killed because of what he was trying to do. The same thing what Malcolm was saying with all these people.
Right.
You know, so once you.
But today would be somewhat successful.
What today?
Today,
No,
2026,
but
would be considered somewhat successful.
Well,
from
but
back then.
what I'm saying is this: is what I'm saying. What they went through, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
They didn't have anything to lose.
Right.
So even let's say we move forward. You know what I mean? Even if they were successful, I don't think Malcolm and King would let that success financially mess their brains up.
No. I'm not saying it messed their brain. No, I'm just saying from everything that they were fighting for back then, the time has passed, right? Would today appear to be successful today or not? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it would because people can say what they want to say. We do have the freedom to move around.
To do a lot of stuff.
And we have the freedom to do a lot of stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can't say they wouldn't be happy, but it's just a lot of stuff that I just don't think they would agree with because it just went against everything they stood for.
Right.
But we I mean, what they went through, we benefiting from it.
Right, absolutely.
You know, but now they're trying to take these things that they died for. They're trying to take them away from us.
Right.
14th Amendment stuff, 5th Amendment stuff.
Right.
They're trying to take them away from us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, which is crazy, but white people understand now that these things that the 4th Amendment, the 15th Amendment, all that, right, it affects y'all too because you like us. You poor, you ain't shit.
Right.
So whatever they do to you, when they pass laws, they say that is for us. You part of that same equation because you poor like us. But you don't see it like that because they telling you, long as you can think you better than the black man, you okay.
Right.
But now they're understanding that don't work.
I mean, when you really think about it, would you say any of those papers mean anything to any humans at this point?
Well, it means something because some of them still believe in it.
Okay, but if you look at today's man,
okay, I'll put
the average, let's say he's 30 years old.
I'll put it to you
Young
like
man, he don't even know what those papers say.
But the thing about it, he don't have to know because he's still been indoctrinated with this racist separatist ideology. He don't have to know. Now these young kids that's coming up, they know because they research. They research. You know what I mean? But you still got people like that, no matter what you tell them. You know what I mean?
That's what they want to do.
They doing what because they
ain't gonna stop them.
They ain't gonna stop them, and they know it ain't right, but they ain't gonna stop them. But
they're not gonna stop
they're
them.
not gonna stop them. But I mean, it's like people gonna do what they want to do because they're gonna read things the way they want to read it.
Right. Especially if you living in a time where you really heard a lot of stuff was lies. A lot of stuff was oppression. A lot of stuff was segregation. A lot of stuff was there. And you just say, all that.
Do you ever?
I'm living like this.
Living
and I'm
like
doing
this.
it like this. And I'm doing, and I mean, and you can see it in certain people's face, like a Kanye.
Right.
Like Kanye.
But Kanye told him though.
But he'll be like, look, I got this money. I'm about to buy this, and if I buy that, you can't say nothing to me about that because that's mine.
And that's what people don't
that.
understand about Kanye. They can say what they want about Kanye. Kanye already, like him and Cat Williams said, y'all done did everything to me.
Right.
But y'all got to keep remembering, I'm a product. Right. Whatever y'all do to me, it don't matter because I can go do a show and bring in 100,000 people and charge $50, and people going to come.
Right. That's right.
So
That's right.
You can cancel me, but I'm not canceled.
Right.
Only thing you cancel me is that the money that you think you was going to get, you're not getting now.
Right. You canceled yourself.
You canceled yourself.
Right.
It's just like you ever notice like politicians, you never see their kids. with their
Right.
kids because their kids are rebellious as hell.
Right.
These white kids know how cruel. It's different. These politician kids know how cruel and how selfish their parents are. So they have those same kind of issues with their kids that everybody else have with their kids. That when they know their parents.
Oh yeah, and then you got people that don't show their kids because them kids get kidnapped.
Them kids get kidnapped.
Based upon what you trying to
what
pass
you trying
out
to,
the way.
right.
Yeah,
and half of them damn politicians, like Obama said one time, he said half of them politicians they dumb as hell and they broke as hell. But they get all this free. You think they get all this stuff? This guy did a thing, and he said athletes, business people, and politicians. He said, who do you think get locked up? And he said, who the one you think that gets caught with corruption and all this money stuff? And everybody thought it was the athletes because they was black. He said, no, it's the politicians. They the most bankrupt and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I'll tell you one, their cookie jar is too easy to take a cookie from.
Yeah.
But then it's a paper trail with that cookie. That
cookie.
cookie missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was missing 3 years ago, but we done backtracked back to you.
Yeah. And that's like all these reports, like with this, I'm trying to get off the election thing, like with all this stuff. So
Right.
Trump ain't going to have to pay. It's all those fools who doing his bidding is going to have to pay. Because whoever wins and take over, they going after them.
Right.
They going after all that money they done stole from people, and somebody going to have to pay. Because one thing we know about money, if somebody takes some money from you, no matter how you get it back, you're going to get it. Yeah. And if you don't get it, they're going to pay.
And I mean, the people that got the most money out there in the world, everybody's aiming at their money. So what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Hey, ain't nothing. Like they said, like what Denzel said, you can't take none of that with you.
Can't take none of that with
Nothing
you.
gonna be in that casket.
Listen.
Your favorite car, your favorite ring and diamonds, they ain't putting that in the casket.
My mom told us, she said, listen, I don't know when I'm gonna leave y'all,
Right.
but while I'm here, I'm spending.
I'm gonna enjoy mine.
I'm gonna enjoy mine. I ain't worked no 30-something years to save money to get it y'all.
Exactly.
And y'all gonna get something maybe.
Right.
But when I die, I'm gonna die, and
That's
I'm gonna
right.
be happy.
That's right.
So you
That's right. And that's what enjoying your life is all about.
Yes, it is.
That's what it's all about, man. So tell us about the Ella Baker story, man.
Oh man.
Me and Mia talked about it a little while, and tell us about that. What made you want to do a story about Ella Baker?
Well, I'm a period piece man anyway. Like I just, and when I was going to do a story on Fannie Lou Hamer,
Okay.
but this lady Ella Baker kept popping up in all my research.
Wow.
Martin Luther King, the NAACP, SNCC, all these organizations. This lady's name kept popping up, named Ella Baker. So I started doing my research on her, and I was like, oh snap. I was like, she's an interesting person. So I did my story. I sent it to my partner, and he's a historical buff. He said, man, we're going to expand on this thing. He said, we're going to make it a little bit longer. I said, now listen now, longer than you is 100 and something pages. That ain't longer than me. So we sat down and we start writing, and it's just her life and her story. It's just interesting to me. And I'm really kind of hurt because I don't think people are really taking it as serious as I thought it would be. But I believe there are reasons behind that because she wasn't the type of woman that how can I put it? She wasn't the type of woman that played second fiddle to anyone, and especially back in that time when the man was the head of everything. Right. Man word was final. The black church was final. Or whatever the man said, it is what it is, even in the house. But she wasn't that type of woman. So she became a force within the movements, from 30s, 40s, and 50s up until she passed away in the 80s.
Wow.
So when I read her, when I just peeped into her life, I said, you know what? We got to do a story about her. And she's the type of woman that, like your grandma, she can sit you down and tell you, listen, bro, I'm gonna take you on a history lesson.
Right.
And I want you to listen because what I'm about to tell you is going to make you a smarter and a more aware person of where you are in this country, especially if you're black.
Right.
And that's was her mission, and she done a lot of stuff. So I just wanted to honor her, and and we got another part coming up that really digs into a lot of stuff, man. And what really gets me is like she's a student, she's a graduate of Shaw University. Wow. It's like 35 minutes from here.
Wow.
And when they do stuff on like famous black people or this, you never hear her name mentioned. It's mentioned, but it's not mentioned in the name of other, greats, But They call, it's like if you're the mother of the church, that means the church has mad love and respect for you because you put in your time.
Right.
She's the mother of civil rights, but they just don't treat her the way I think she should be treated. Wow. So that's why I did it. And like I said, we're gonna come back to part 2, and I think people are gonna latch on. But it's just the fact is like when you have a person that go against the grain, but when you have a person that challenges the system,
right?
You know what I mean? This is what happens. Okay. That's why I did it. And like I said, and in July it was toured. No, in May. In May it was toured it went to like 5 film festivals on this tour thing. Nice. We got some good receipt. We received some great information from that, and it was a friend of mine from Portland called me. Okay. He does the film circuit all year because he's a professor at the college. He called me and said, "Yo, man, who did this film on Ella Baker?" I said, "Yeah, I did." He said, "Man, these people out here in Portland, they love it. They don't even know who the hell she is." I said, "Well, that's why we did it."
Right.
They said, "We didn't know who she was." They said, "But people really enjoyed it, man. It was real informative." They said it was shot well and everything. I said, "Well, I appreciate that." Nice. But I just think with the film, I just think anytime you challenge like somebody like Martin Luther King, this is what you get. Right. You know what I mean? Because people don't want you stepping on his toes, but it's not stepping on his toes. This is the person that educated him on how to deal with these people in the system. Right.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get my role in there.
You got a role. You want to do the first one?
I want to be in the whole thing, bro.
Yeah. This guy been on me since we got done the first one too. He ain't gonna let me sleep on this one. But we gonna get it done. It's like. And like I said, I done so much period stuff. I just want to step out my box a little bit. Like I'm doing War Room. Right. It's a strategic film. I'm gonna do Brother Black. I just want to step out my box a little bit, and then I'm gonna get back into it. You know what I mean?
What's War Room?
War Room is about. It's a strategic war. It's like how they go. War Room is about this. You know how they just strategically set up the bomb and stuff. Right. So what happened was, the 2 people that's in it over it or running it, they're not doing the job. And so, the one character is like Pam Bondi, which is a lady, and the other person is like a Jeff Hester. These people are under Trump. Okay. But they bring a black girl in that's their boss. Okay. So they kind of like fighting against her because they just don't respect her because they think she's DEI hire, and plus she's a black woman. So War Room is about them trying to undermine her as over the special forces that go out and kill like Osama bin Laden and all this kind of stuff. But it's deep though. Okay. Yeah, it's deep. It's going to be interesting. So I got my cast for that, and then like I said, we're gonna do. And listen now, I'm gonna tell y'all something about Brother Black. Now, I gave this man a script, and I know he's gonna do the job, but I want to hire a script person because when I say lines, I just might read the lines to him. Because
that boy ain't gonna know
his lines. But I put it to you like this, though. The brother made me a reliever. I don't care. I already know he's going to do what he need to do. And I'm just saying that as a joke, though. But when Brother Black is going to be good. It's going to be fun. And there's going to be like some action. There's a little bit of everything. We got a great cast. And so, yeah, I think, is this your first lead? Real big lead? Yeah. See, that's what I do, man. I give people a chance to.
Brother,
yeah,
shine.
And that's one thing about me getting back to my film stuff. A lot of people tell you, man, if it wasn't for Brother Syed, I probably wouldn't be doing it. Because I told people, I got you. Like RL, he said, man, people, they would let me do stuff, but they wouldn't give me a role. I said, well, look, come on, you can be in this film here. This is your role. So I don't mind working with people and giving people the opportunity to shine because we all alike, bro. We alike. Right. We alike to each other.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But yeah, so Brother Black gonna be funny, man. It's gonna be good. All right,
I got random questions. Here,
random questions.
Favorite cereal?
Oh man, Cheerios.
Favorite car?
It's the Big Daddy Benz, man.
The Benz? Which Benz?
500.
S5?
Yeah, S5. I had the 430.
Wait, what year are we talking about?
It don't matter.
It don't matter, just the big body.
As long as it's the big body. As long as it's the biggest Benz they got, that's what I want.
Did you ever win the lottery?
No.
Did you ever win a scratch off?
No. The lottery and the scratch off, this is my thing. The lottery and the scratch off to me is find a person that puts up with my craziness. And let me do what I do. As far as money-wise, now. I play all the time.
What's the most money you ever won in a casino?
I don't gamble.
Okay. Do you have an antique?
Do I have an antique? with that horse, but I don't really like having antique. Now, before I fell off, I had and I wish I could find it. I had a racing program,
Okay.
and Muhammad Ali signed it for me.
Oh, nice.
But I don't know where it is. When I got on dope, I lost it.
Wow.
But the funny story with Muhammad Ali though is it's like, I'm gonna tell you these two stories, then we can move forward. The thing with Muhammad Ali, I was a kid. He said, I asked him for an autograph. He said, you want my autograph? I said, yeah, but you got to take mine too. So I signed his thing, and he signed mine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I had my little issue with Michael Jordan one time.
What was the issue?
Oh man, he tried to flip on me in the club. I had to go in on him.
What happened?
I was trying to get his autograph.
And
But then he started saying some stuff that I didn't want to hear. And I was like, look, bro, I just got out of jail. My weight is up. I mean, it's on you. And my boy was like, Syed, come on. It was 1996, 97. We was at Cafe. We was at Cafe Pasta.
Yeah.
It was me, Ron Howard. It was Juwan Howard, Allen Houston, Ron Harper, Jerry Stackhouse, club filled with stars.
Wow.
I'm running with him.
Wow.
We partying. So Mike come down, he cool and stuff, but I kind of got on his nerves too. But I said, Mike, come on, man. Then he ordering drinks.
Right.
Talking about he got it.
Right.
So he looking at me, I'm looking down. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got no money.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that was my thing with Mike. But we squashed it. He said, look, because they was going to put me out.
Okay.
Then he said, no, my man, he good. No, he good. Let him stay in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was funny, though. Because my man Jeff Ware, Fred Whitfield, Jordan's real best friend, but my man Jeff Ware knew Fred Whitfield's girlfriend at the time, so she gave us tickets to go to the thing because they wasn't going to be there. But yeah, man, that was a party and a half too. That was a party and a half too, bro.
Wow.
Cafe Pasta, I never forget it. Jordan said, dude, you crazy. I said, man, listen, I'm fresh out. I'm like you, I'm trying to get mine. He said, well, you ain't getting yours with me. So listen, that's the funny part, right? So the limo pulls up. Everybody goes out to get in the limo. I went down. Yeah. I'm trying to get in the limo, doing like, Hope. Party's over. Push me back and shut the door. That's a true story.
Party's over.
He said the party's over. He pushed me back and shut the door.
Oh,
I said, oh, man.
I know that's right. Yeah. Jordan was like, let's
I ain't messing with
that. He ain't going with us.
He ain't going with us.
Oh, man.
But yeah, but stuff like that, man. Shoot, I was at the, I'm just telling you, I'm just tripping now. So, man, this is a young girl. Bad, I can't say her name. Bad young girl. She said, listen, when I graduate, I want you to take me out. I thought she was kidding. You know what I mean? So I had a 86 black Nissan Maxima, clean as heck. Clean. So I'm riding, I see her walking. So I said, what you doing? She said, I thought you were going to take me out on my graduation. I said, yeah. She said, well, we graduated today. I said, yeah. She said, so she jumps in the car, we go to Philly. So we go to it's a club in Philly where all the athletes used to go to. But I knew the dude at the door. She wasn't but 18. You had to be 21 to get in the club. I said, yo, he's a size. I said, boom, here you go. So he let her in. So Dr. J, Cliff Harris, I think it was Andrew Tony and somebody. They came out. I said, oh, that's my boy Doc. She said, you know Dr. J? I said, look, I know everybody. So I walk up to Doc. This is a true story. Yeah. So I walk up to Doc. I said, yo, what's up? He said, yo, man, I ain't giving her no autograph. I said, listen, I don't want no autograph. So you see that little thing over there? I told her, I know you. I just need you to come by and say hi. Now, her drink of choice, my brother told me, was Tanqueray and orange.
Right.
So my brother said, that was the drink of choice. So Doc said, he said, give me a minute, let me browse. I come out. I thought he was lying. Yeah. He came over and said, hey, what's up? He said, what's up, Si? I said, what's up, Doc? He said, I'm good. He said, what you drink? I said, Doc, you know I drink. He said, what your girl drink? She said, I'd like Tanqueray and orange. He said, I got you. And this is the funny part.
That's funny, right?
This is true.
That's
so
funny.
This is the funny part, though.
Right.
So after we left the club, I took her to the motel. But this is the thing. I fell asleep. We was up. But I had to go by my house to take her home at 6 o'clock in the morning.
And you rode by your house?
I had to, and I was married.
And then what happened?
I prayed my wife wasn't on that damn street. I mean, I not literally by my house, but I was got to go through my town where my house was on that block to get her home.
Right.
And she wasn't but 18, and her brothers, I know their brothers.
Wow.
Man, you talking about, man.
You was tiptoeing.
Scared as hell, bro. And she was, my brother, and he hooked me up. But that was like one of the little crazy stuff I used to do.
That's funny, man.
Yeah. So
what you want to tell the young person out there that's trying to be a filmmaker or trying to just get their life right, period? What do you want to tell them?
Well, first of all, on the filmmaker thing, listen, if you want to be
Back toward the mic.
oh, I'm sorry. First thing, if you want to be a filmmaker, I tell people, don't go out and spend a whole bunch of money on film stuff. Just, use your cell phone or just go out and buy a cheap little 1080p camera and start from there. Because this film industry, entertainment isn't like a 9-to-5 job. Entertainment is entrepreneurship.
Right.
That's what entertainment is. It's not a big job where every day you're gonna make your money. Some days you might have good days, you might have bad days, but to become an entertainer in this business, just go out and try it first, inexpensively.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then see if you have a niche for it and grow from there. That's what I tell people all the time. Just see if you like it first. Because everything look good ain't good. Everything look easy ain't easy. Once you see the movies, that all look good, but behind the scenes is hectic and it's a lot of work.
Right.
Even if you're a small beginning crew or a major crew. And when I tell and my words, of encouragement to people, young people, whoever, just be true to yourself. You don't have to impress nobody but yourself.
Right.
Be true to if you be true to yourself, and some people say, well, you got to give 110%. Tell me what 110% is. If you gave your all,
right,
and you gave your all, that's all you can give.
That's all you can give.
And if it don't work, just go to something else. But just don't say, it didn't work, I'm not going to do this. But that's when you give up, and that's when you fail. But so don't let people ever destroy what you believe in and stuff like that. So I just tell people just put 100% into what you want to do, and if it don't work, just go to something else.
Absolutely. Man, well, thank you for coming out.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you, brother.
The World is Listening
the world
podcast,
is listening.
man. You know what I'm saying?
The world is listening, man.
You had a lot to say today, man.
Oh,
some people going to take this in and they're going to feel real good about themselves and be motivated, man.
I try to be a motivating person. Like I said, man, before I got on dope, man, I was like, I really, really pushed that love in my hometown, man. And then when God gave me a chance to do it again right here, that's my whole mission.
Right.
That's my mission to just push love and creativeness. And I don't have no time for that BS. I'm too old for that.
Absolutely.
But I appreciate you.
Hey, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming out, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Boom.
Oh, I got to close with it. Get the black mind right.
Get the black mind right.
Get the black mind right.